And we are back. How is everybody doing out there? Hi, happy Veterans Day to all of you and all of your families. I have my local hero here with me, Mr. Wayne Walden. How are you doing, buddy?
All right, Michael. How about you?
I'm doing great. I am your host, Michael Booth. This is Tri-State Media Services. Today is a good day. Got a lot of things to be thankful for. A lot of things going on in the news with people just kind of giving our government crap and giving a lot of negativity to the country, I think.
People run a little bit scared when things that they've been used to all their lives.
Yeah. Resources, for sure.
Resources especially. And they get nervous because of the fear-mongering out there.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And what they have to remember is that America's gone through
A lot.
trying.
That's what I'm saying, a lot.
From the Great Depression through 2 world wars, 9/11, Desert Storm, and Iraqi freedom and Afghanistan. So first of all, I would also like to say thank you for all of our veterans and first responders out there.
Absolutely.
We greatly appreciate your service and your dedication.
Absolutely.
We appreciate what you have contributed to making America and making our lives what they are today.
Yeah.
We
I
greatly
definitely
appreciate you.
I appreciate all of the time that they put in and are still putting in, dealing with everybody's crap, getting everybody together, trying to make peace, trying to do what they need to do. And I think what a lot of people forget is that these are people, Like
Yes.
everybody kind of thinks of the government like, oh, it's the government, but
But
people.
it's a government of the people,
right?
by the people, and for the people.
That's it.
So we, the people, are the government.
That's very true.
And they need our support in spite of what our opinion may be
Very
about some of their programs or some of their hijinks or some of their lack of resolve and commitment to work together
And I think
to
it's
provide the services. And like anything else, we have to stay the course.
you say that to me all the time. I love
As
it.
people
That's so true.
have done throughout our history.
Yep.
We commit, we work together, and we stay the course.
Stay the course.
What do we expect out of the government? How are we going to support our part of commitment to the government?
That's very true.
What are we going to do? How are we going to help others as we expect them to help us
That's very
when we need it? So it's about commitment. It's about belief and understanding that everybody contributes to our society, to our culture.
100%.
So we have to support those who can help
Yep.
us
I think
in
that's
in our expectations.
in our government. We have a lot of people who have kind of ruined the idea of our government by shady practices.
Yes.
And you get some people who believe that the whole government is infected by this, but they forget that it's policies that kind of make up some of these problems. And instead of just saying that this was a bad person, they look at the whole government as a whole and say, oh, they're all
They
bad.
measure the government by the acts of a few.
Right. And that's
And and that's part of fear mongering.
That's all the news wants to show
yeah.
you. They don't
Yes.
want to show you the amazing people that are working
Well,
every day.
that's exactly right.
Holiday
The
hour-
local
hours.
heroes of everyday life.
Yeah. Look at the air
Well-
traffic controllers. They're not even getting paid. They're not getting paid, but still have to do their job every
Yes,
single day.
Yes.
Like that's to me, that's dedication.
Absolutely.
You know how many people that I have met that would have just walked out, that wouldn't even have given them 5
Yep.
seconds?
Yep, because they're not committed
Right.
beyond the paycheck.
That's true.
You know, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not willing to invest.
Right.
But guess what?
That's how it works.
A citizenship is investment
Into your future and
Into
everyone else's future.
everybody else
That's facts.
into our culture, our society.
I think in my lifetime, I have been a guy who has seen the worst of society and the best of society. I didn't start seeing the best of society until I started basically seeing what I could do for others. The
Mhm.
moment that I stopped trying to think about myself all the time and I started thinking about others was the one time in my life where it hit a bump where everything started going better.
Mhm.
And I don't understand why that's not taught to you in school, but they don't give you the essentials for the real world. I think
Well,
that
to me, I've gone to higher education schools and have several degrees,
Mhm.
and you can learn everything in school and not be able to apply what you
That's
learned in school
very true, very true.
to the real world, and that's what you're talking about
Yep.
is applying the real experiences and the real actions
Mhm.
to how it applies to the real world.
That's very true.
You know, it's something that everybody
Mhm.
comes to the realization. For me personally, the roughest time in my life was when I came home from Vietnam and the reception and so much of the vocal
Mhm.
media and the vocal protesters that called us names and accused us of doing things that just a select events that occurred
Mhm.
and a couple times, and we got painted
Mhm.
with the response to that, and called nasty names. And did it make us feel welcome when we came home from
Absolutely.
servicing, from being in a war zone for a year or 2 years and seeing combat and having to deal with an enemy that had no respect for their own people,
Yeah.
who used their own people and tortured their own people, and we come home to reception like we did
crazy.
Vietnam War. I felt so low and so disrespected, and I did not have warm feelings
Yeah.
for the American public because of the actions of those few protesters.
And I think that's what a lot of our soldiers today are going through right now. You've got a lot of people who are getting shipped off to, because when they take an oath for both foreign and domestic.
Absolutely.
And that's the scary part is when they're ready to jump off for foreign because that's not your brothers and your sisters. But when you start hitting domestic, that's when it starts getting real. Like
Yes.
you're talking about you're sending troops on our own people. That is terrifying.
Well,
And it's not fair to those troops, when they have to get out there and makes them look like they're the bad guys. But
Well, and again, it's a response
it's a response.
and over response
Yeah.
in some cases to what's happening, and in rare occurrences, they need the local authorities need additional help, and that's the function of the National Guard is
Right.
to be able to provide that.
Yeah.
And now, who is who's making the decision? Well,
That's the part that I'm.
that's where your command authority and and the president becomes is the commander in chief.
Yeah.
And his commanders have to do what
they're
he
told.
specifies.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what type
and
of person is in the office, whether you're
absolutely,
Democrat or Republican.
It is the president is the
He
commander.
is the commander in chief.
Whether
Period.
he's Republican,
That's it.
Democrat,
Doesn't matter
or
what side he's
independent.
on.
Doesn't
commander-in-chief.
matter. And the troops are
Obligated and trained to follow it.
trained
Exactly.
to follow orders.
That's the truth.
They have a moral responsibility
Yeah.
to not abuse
That power. Yeah.
that power
100%.
as they're given it.
That's true.
Now, moral responsibility, are they going to go out and deliberately hurt civilians?
I mean,
No,
they could if they
but-
wanted to, but they have not.
But
They have not.
that's the whole thing.
Yep.
You have a responsibility, but you also have the moral guidance. And every soldier deals with that, whether it's on a foreign or domestic soil.
I know a lot of people are upset over what's going on in the paper over ICE, how they're deporting people and doing stuff. But this is what a majority of the United States voted for. They voted for this type of reform and this type of cleanup.
Yes.
And it's sad that these people are basically being torn asunder by people who haven't really thought all this through.
Well, when you vote and you support a particular
Stance.
agenda
Yeah.
or stand, and you vote that party's agenda, you supported that, you voted for that, so therefore
It's happening.
you have committed to that
You're not wrong.
by your vote,
Yep.
and therefore you should be showing support. Now, with any controversial issue, the news tends to be fear mongering
Instantaneously.
totally.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because they know that that business sells.
confrontational.
Yeah.
Confrontation will sell their
Yep.
airtime, if you will.
Absolutely.
So you have to think beyond what you hear on the news.
Yeah, I hear a lot of
You
people
are
who say one thing. But
responsible for saying, is what the government doing correct?
right.
And if you disagree, then you should be contacting your representative,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
senator,
Your local
to
senator or
let
congressman.
them know that they are doing a good job
Mhm.
or a bad job.
So
Now, it tends to be that the bad news gets
yeah,
highlighted,
highlighted every single time.
and the
Yeah.
minority sometimes
Yeah.
is being flashed out
Mhm.
there and projected out there, but you have to think
Mhm.
for yourself, saying,
That's true.
is what the government doing correct? Is that what
Mhm.
they said they were going to do? And if they're not, then it's your responsibility
It's very true.
as a citizen, to show
Mhm.
and to tell them that you disagree with them and they should support what you voted for.
So I have a friend. He's paraplegic, and he calls me all the time to help him out with little stuff because he can do "Hey Siri, hey Alexa." He can do those,
Mm-hmm.
and those will. Mine just activated when I said that. Uh, he can do those kind of calls, but he can't. He has trouble on certain calls.
Mm.
When it comes to looking stuff up, he has difficulties doing certain stuff. So he'll call me and he'll have me, try to help him out with certain stuff, and I don't mind to do that at all. Lately, he is very adamant about trying to be, a part of his community, and I love that about him
Mhm.
because I I have known tons of people, and not one of them but him has actually contacted their local representative. He's the only person I know that has actually spoken to the representatives or wanted to speak to them,
Mhm.
So I was helping him make these calls, and we're calling all these local Hawaii representatives, and they're putting us on hold. We'll give you a call back later. Let me do this. Let me do that. Now, big shout out to them because they don't know this guy from Adam. They don't know me from Adam. They're getting these calls that are coming from Kentucky, and he's living in Hawaii,
Hawaii.
and I'm kind of doing three-way interception
Mhm.
calls for him, and I give them big props because they actually did handle the situations pretty well. I will say that it took a little bit extra time because they needed to, figure out, like, what are these people calling us for? Because I'm sure they do get weird stuff, but it's not an easy process to talk to your local governor or
No,
your.
it's not.
It
You
is
got to
not.
stay the course.
You got to stay the course.
You got to and be persistent.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You hit them and ding them.
Yep.
Every way you can, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text. And in my days, it was send a telegram to your local representative.
Yeah.
Let them know.
Yeah.
Well,
And it used to be you could
with
make a
social-
telephone call where you didn't have to feel like it was going to be a spam call.
yes.
When your telephone rang, you actually answered that with confidence. Like, oh,
Mhm.
this is something important.
Somebody was calling you
right.
specifically.
With some serious business.
Yes.
Now, since we've opened this business, I've had, let's say, 100 calls. Have we had one single one that has been about business? No, we have not.
See,
That's not okay.
anymore. That's the way with spam calls, robocalls,
It's
all
ridiculous.
of the above, because they're rotating.
Yeah.
It's an automatic dialer. It's
Yeah.
not a person that's calling.
Yeah.
And it's an automatic dialer. And that pause after
Mhm.
you answer the hello,
Yep.
and there's a pause in there. That's because until somebody responds
Mhm.
on their call,
It's not going to say anything.
it's not going to connect to a person.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And that's why people have lost faith in the government, because they don't feel like their problems or their queries are being addressed quickly.
Oh, correct.
And
There
then it
is
just
not
makes
a
them feel like it's not
timely response
Right.
to there.
right. And the big problem that we're having in some of these things that I'm seeing, this is only my personal things. Like, again, big shout out to some of the people that I have met recently in higher politics, trying to like talk to some of these people. I will say that they do a lot, but they're still getting paid. You know what I mean? So when the government shuts down, they still get a check. And even if they didn't get a check, they made, on sometimes $200,000-$300,000 a year. I could live off of $10,000 a month and be totally fine. Like, I would love to see that kind of
Yeah.
money. They're not as empathetic to our problems as we would like them to be, because they make so much money.
And they're not as responsive, and
Right.
they don't understand
Exactly.
at our level of life
Yeah.
what it's taken to make it day to day, week to week, month to month.
It's ridiculous.
So, but part of that is decided in the voting process.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're supporting a general agenda that the party or the candidate
Mhm.
it is professing. So you have to take what you voted for, the faith
Hmm.
of their agenda, that they will live up to it.
Hmm.
And if they don't, then lo and behold, you need to register that protest, and you need to gather others that are protesting and make a group effort.
Yeah, that's when you
The
get actually
bigger the
see something.
group,
Bigger the
the
group, the
more
more they have to
attention you're
address it.
going to get, and
Right.
the faster attention.
Absolutely. I
So,
think the problem that we have, though, is that when we went to school, we were taught general assembly of how this stuff works. You have certain processes that go up through the ranks, right? And then you
mhm,
have like your system, your government, your regular basis of courts. You've got all these different judicial branches that go
yes,
up. The problem is what we weren't taught in school is how big businesses can just pay off these certain branches of
these
this.
political action groups,
And
yes,
yeah, and they can just change the whole
and
dynamic. And it's
yes,
no longer American interests after
yeah,
that point.
the 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 big
It's big
corporation pull, if
corporations,
you
right?
will, influence, and it's money talks.
Money talks. And that's the scary thing is that these people that we have around us at all times, our people can influence a lot, but our feet have to go where we're saying we're going to go. Like if you don't want another Walmart in your town and you want small businesses to thrive, you have to shop at the small businesses. You can't throw your money into these different big
Walmart
giant
and then
corporations
preach.
and then say,
Yeah,
you know what? We we don't really like this type of policies. It's like you obviously do because you're shopping
you're
at these places.
shopping at,
And I'm guilty
at the
too. I'm
Walmart.
not ever going to say that I'm not guilty of Walmart. I love a good Walmart every now
Yeah.
and then. So don't let me fool you whenever I say that. I do like getting low prices every day and all this other crap.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there needs to be a healthy time where our leaders come together and say, "Hey, listen, enough is enough. We need you guys to like start shopping local, start doing things together, and then that might be our way to actually influence policies better." I think if the leadership isn't really doing that, then that's kind of on them a little bit.
Well, it is, but it's also it's a pipe dream to expect that that's going to
That's true too. Yeah, that's
change.
true too. Especially without the money to do it.
Then, well, that's what
Yeah,
money talks.
money talks.
Money
That's
talks.
the sad part about it.
The money talks and BS walks.
Mhm.
Okay, you can say anything,
Yeah,
but if you're laying money down to support their campaign and their agenda,
that's
guess
who they're
what?
gonna that's who they're gonna favor.
Yeah,
That's who they're
yeah.
gonna
You
favor.
send, but to support
Yeah,
your agenda, you need to commit to what you're capable or willing
yeah.
to donate
Hmm.
to your cause.
That's
Okay,
100% true. Since
so
you've been back, out of everything, when you came back home, you had a terrible response from the people. Did you ever see that change? Like, I mean, did they always keep giving you guys hell for
well, it was more than 10 years before I started hearing
That's terrible.
responses, and basically
That kills
it
me.
was the service organizations
Mhm.
that became more proactive in welcoming Vietnam War returnees
Mhm.
home, and because it was the protesters that were preaching the agenda
Yeah,
at airports, and malls, and grocery stores, and parking lots,
it's ridiculous.
and sad to say, even some of the churches they camped out in the parking lot to protest the returning servicemen.
Which is
If
so
the if
ridiculous.
and you didn't feel like you could wear your uniform
Yeah.
with your combat badges
Hmm.
on it because of the reaction, and and a vocal reaction t- tends to attract more more attention than a silent reaction. In other words, expressing faith through your actions and exception versus somebody who's out there screaming and preaching an agenda out loud with megaphones and signs and everything, and it is something that really saps the energy and the feeling of warmth. I would have to say that it wasn't until 10 years, 11 years after I came home that I started to feel comfortable in talking about my Vietnam services because of the reaction, the reactionary few.
I never thought
Now,
about it that way.
within my family, yes, there was no questioning the support. I come from a military family. I was born into a military family. Both my brothers have served. One retired from the Air Force after 20 some years, and my oldest brother was 11 years in the Navy. And my father was 25 years, 20 years in the Air Force, 4 years in submarine service in Pacific Theater and World War II and the Korean War. So I come from a military family, and to see that lack of support when I came home was very draining. And I will have to say that I am so proud to see the support of our troops
Absolutely.
and our first responders
Absolutely.
today. It's absolutely, I love to see that. And it makes me proud to hear people support our servicemen.
See, there's a
and
lot of
first responders.
there's a lot of people who feel like if you are proud to be an American, that you are a racist or that you're doing some ideological. I am proud to be an American, and
Yes.
nobody can take that away
I
from me.
am
There's
too.
so many men and women who have died in order to give me the rights that I have to sit here and be able to speak with everybody and to be
From
able to
all
talk.
walks of life,
That's what I'm saying.
colors, creeds, religions, we are all Americans.
That's it.
And it's our country.
Yep. And I think fighting for those ideals is very just not just honorable, but it's us. It is
It's
us.
satisfying to me.
Yeah.
It makes me feel warm
Yeah.
to be an American and to see all the other American people.
And I'm all for everybody having their own opinion on things. I'm 100% behind it. You can have your own opinion on anything. But the way that I feel and the way that he feels about the things that our country has done is our beliefs, our feelings. You have yours, I have mine. I'm going to allow you to have your feelings. Allow us to have ours. You know what I mean? And I'm all for somebody, fighting for what's right, doing whatever they want to do, what they believe in.
Fighting for their beliefs,
But now,
supporting their culture and society.
But right now, you're seeing a lot of people who will just shut down an argument. Like they won't even have the argument. They'll just say that because you think of a different way than another person does, that you are the problem of society today, which is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Well, it is because it's our individual freedoms of speech and action and being responsible for your actions and your beliefs.
We have the whole Charlie Kirk thing that happened here recently, which was tragedy. Like I think it's horrible that you have a man he would question and argue on all different topics because he had the ability to do so. We have the freedom to voice these opinions. And I think that that's important to have these conversations, whether you believe in what somebody says or not. To be able to talk about it is your main, that's your main power.
Yes,
To silence
exactly.
somebody because you didn't agree with them is just
Well,
ridiculous.
but there's extremists out there,
Yeah,
and always have been,
and always
as
have been.
long as there's been people in this
Yeah.
on this continent,
Mhm.
whether they're Native Americans or whether they're immigrants. There have always been extremists and people that don't accept the status quo, if
Yeah.
you will, that don't accept the rights of the individual to express themselves and talk about
Yeah.
things. If you don't agree with something, guess what?
You can always stop listening or walk away from it.
Walk away from
That's
it.
what I'm saying. You
Nobody
don't
is
have to. They're
forcing
not
you.
forcing you to listen.
No,
And that's
nobody's forcing you to do it. But you don't take extreme actions like that
No.
because they don't reflect
Yeah, yours, right.
they don't reflect your opinions,
Mhm.
and they don't reflect what society says.
I have talked to just about every type of person that walks this earth. I have talked to racists. I've talked to genocidal, homicidal people. I've talked to people who don't want people in general. Like I've talked to people who love people, hippies, like every type of person you can think of. I have spoken with, and I have been able to have conversations with every side without having to go either way. If I didn't believe what they were talking about, I had the option to walk
To
away from
leave,
the conversation.
yes,
Like
yes.
I could say, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry, but what we're talking about, I just don't
I don't
agree,
agree
and
with, and
I'm gonna
I'm
go about my
done.
way."
Yes.
I think that our society should be based off of dialect to be able to talk about these problems in order to be able to fix these problems. If we can't have an open discourse on how we're going to communicate on these things, we're never going to see eye to eye on things. And I get too many people that are like, oh, it's too far gone. We're going to have a civil war. And I'm like, that's the worst attitude I have ever heard to have. I'm
Mm,
never going to say, like, that I just give up. Oh, it's going to be a civil war. I do not want to see that. I know my history. Civil War was awful. Brother against brother, family members against family members. You had people.
Hatfield and
That's what I'm
McCoy,
saying. It's the
you know.
dumbest thing ever. Like that doesn't
Yes,
solve anything.
yes.
That is so bad.
Two returning Civil War veterans that literally
Hmm.
got into their own war
It's so dumb. And if you talk to any of
and
those people
brought their
now,
entire family members
in on it.
into it,
Mhm.
and not all those family members agreed with them.
Yep.
I said, as you saw the
And the outcome of that was not good.
no, no.
We lost a lot of people.
But see, that's the extremist view.
That is the extremist view. And I feel like there's a lot of people who are pushing that agenda where they talk about that all the time. They're just always pushing it. And I'm like, nothing good comes from that. It does
No,
not, it
no.
doesn't solve anything.
And you have to firmly tell them, I disagree with you.
Mhm. And then just
I'm not
walk away from it.
going to get into that extreme
Point of view. It's just,
argument point of view,
it's weird.
and I don't support it.
Yeah. I'm all for
And you walk
protecting.
away.
To
Individual
me,
rights.
I'm
and
all
freedom.
for protecting individual rights and your freedoms to believe whatever you want to believe.
Exactly.
I will literally fight to the death for you to say whatever it is you want to say, even if it's against me and hurts me. I'm still going to fight for your right to say that. Period.
Yes.
I'm so fed up with the fact that we can't have a discussion about things. You get people who get behind in an argument and they just resort to violence because they can't get their way in a conversation. That's unacceptable. And I don't know how we'll get back to base zero to where people can have these conversations openly again. I hope that, discourse continues and people actually learn how to
Communicate.
Yeah.
And how to respect other views,
Yeah.
so long as they don't go to the extremes, like with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. I think that podcasts and little
gatherings.
Yeah,
and,
I'm going to say
and
like
rel-
gatherings of the mind to be able to like
to
discuss these
relate to
things. It's
different
really
subjects
important.
and different opinions,
Right.
and to talk
Hmm.
about what it means to
That's
be an
exactly right.
American,
Yep.
and the respect for the country, the culture,
Hmm.
their home,
Yep.
their society, and contribute
That's the part I love.
to that. To contribute, because it takes contribution from every
It,
citizen,
it takes a village. That's the
all
part.
walks
Yeah,
of life and
100%.
cultures. We have to we have to blend
Hmm.
our society better
Hmm.
than we do on certain subjects,
Yeah.
on certain agendas.
Hmm.
Just because someone supports an agenda you don't agree with
Hmm.
doesn't mean that they have the right
Hmm.
to express themselves. And you have the responsibility to listen
Hmm.
so long as it doesn't come down to extreme
Yeah.
reactions.
Yeah, I think the actions behind things are the most important factor. I
Mm-hmm.
think a person, there's a thing with discernment. Me and my buddy, we shout out to you, buddy, Brian. He knows, but we had these conversations where you get a lot of people who will say, "Oh, don't judge a person. It's not polite to judge people." And I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and say that that's a fallacy.
Yeah,
I'm like, if
absolutely.
you
We always
you're
judge.
always going to judge people, and there's healthy
Yes.
judgment and then there's bad judgment. So like,
Mm.
if a healthy judgment is if a guy walks into a place, it could be a guy or a girl, and they're wielding a machete and they're saying that they're going to kill somebody, I think you might want to judge that that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like you might want to take that as a judgment. I could look at
There's
that instantly and go, okay,
there's
that's a
going
bad
to be
situation.
a violent
Right. It's going to be a
confrontation.
bad
Yes.
situation. Now, if you've got a person that's coming in there and they're just, talking, the judgment call isn't going to be as easy to make. You're going to have to get to know
Mm,
this person a lot
mm.
more before you can make that call. But I'm just saying, judging someone isn't always a bad thing. Like you can make
We
judgments,
do
and
that
every day,
each
every day.
and every day
I just
with
it's
each
ridiculous.
person we talk to that we meet.
Hmm.
We're making some kind of judgment
Every day, every day.
Every day.
And I'm not smart enough to say that I'm
That-
like, oh,
that's
I'm brilliant
human
and this is going to
nature.
fix human nature.
No,
Like,
it's
I'm just
human
saying that,
nature that we do this.
yeah, you're going to do that. And
Yeah.
you shouldn't feel bad about making those judgments on somebody,
No.
But if you make a judgment before you get to see the person or meet the person just based off of something, then
No.
you're messing up. That's
Yeah.
on you. I
Yeah.
mean, that's taking it to an extreme. So
Mhm.
basically, what we're saying on is anytime you take it to an extreme, that's probably going to be the issue right there. You're just taking it to an extreme. Like,
Extremist views and reactions are never good.
it's never going to work. It's not a
Never
good situation.
good. Never good.
In the grand scheme of things, since everything has happened, what do you feel is America's greatest achievement since your time being?
Well, I would say the support of the American people for the commitment that servicemen and first responders make,
That's cool.
whether it's foreign or domestic, because they support and they show the support
Yep.
and talk about the support and they deliver
Hmm.
the support to our service members.
And I think I've had you in my life, so I get to like experience a really cool person who knows history, gets to talk. Not a lot of people have that to go. I mean, they could, but they just choose not to go out and meet people or do.
And in every community there are servicemen and first responders.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, the best and easiest way to do that,
Hmm.
if they don't know them from family or family friend,
Hmm.
is through service organizations.
What would be the best one to do that through?
Well, I would say that any of your service organizations like USO or Disabled American Veterans or American Legion, Veterans of Foreign War, all those service organizations have outreach programs,
Yeah.
And you can show and learn about your more about the service members and the first responders through these organizations.
Absolutely.
And believe you me, they have connections and support programs for all the veterans and first responders.
I love
And
that.
and certainly they're going to ask for donations, but you can donate your time. You can donate your support of by supporting and donating time or money or services.
Yep.
And we each can show through these organizations and knowing family members who are returning servicemen or first responders, and through them showing the support
I love that.
of their brothers and sisters.
I like that. Even if you don't have the money to do something, just showing your support by just
Yes.
being like, anytime I see somebody that is wearing, any kind of, it doesn't even, they don't even have to be wearing it, to be honest. I do it for everybody, but I like doing it for people that are service members that have been there. And I'm like, thanks for your service as they walk by, or I'll give any type of hand I can to help.
I see that all the time. We
Yeah.
went out. A good friend of mine and I went out to dinner yesterday, and walking into the restaurant, there were some families that were waiting to be seated, and one boy said, "Thank you very much for your service, sir," and
That's
held
really
his hand out to shake my hand.
See, I love that.
And that made me feel so proud and
Yeah.
so warm. And I said, "Thank you, young man. I really appreciate that."
Because that's what I feel like. I feel like local
Yes.
heroes. That's what I think of. Those are the people that are local heroes. You guys that went out there, did your thing. You served your communities. You served for the people. You served for yourself and your families. That's important.
Yes.
We have every day, we have first responders that go out there and have to deal with the crap of the world right now. And they do it with a smile on their face because they know they're doing it for their family, they're doing it for their communities, and they're doing it for everyone that needs it. That's important. And I hate that the world is giving them such crap right now, but you got to get to at least one person every day to try to change these,
Well, and like I say, with that restaurant we went to yesterday, on the way to our table, three other people, separate families and groups, welcome both of us because
That's really cool.
my friend Steve is also an Army veteran, not from the Vietnam era, but
Yeah. Still cool. Still
but
service.
later Army era, but it still makes both of us feel good
It's amazing. That's
because of the
how it's supposed to be.
acknowledgement and the show of support.
Yep.
Whether it's a young man or
Yep.
young boy or girl, or a grizzled veteran,
I love it.
or a octogenarian.
Yeah.
Well, someone that's older than myself, although
Yeah.
I'm getting up there.
We had a couple of police officers came in yesterday. They were amazing. They came in here. They're dealing with crap out there, and they came in. They were so nice and just it was just
Yes, it warms your heart.
to see good
It
people, wearing the badge or doing good stuff like that. That's awesome to me. Like I respect that. I respect anybody who is going out there trying to make a difference for their community, for their people. I think that you can't
Yes, they're
fake
getting
that.
a
You have to.
paycheck,
Yeah, of course they're
but
getting a paycheck, but you get a
but
paycheck for anything that you
they
do in life.
they
So
make a commitment every day,
every day to
every
choose to
hour of
keep
the
doing
day.
that job,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And it's you don't get a lot of there. There's a few people who go out there out of their way to say, "Hey, man, good job. You guys are doing great. Thank you for what you guys are doing." Like I could not say thank you enough to them as they were leaving because I felt so bad that they even had to show up here.
yeah,
And we're dealing with kind of like idiot people who like to play on computers and try to
yeah,
do dumb stuff.
yeah.
We're not even going to acknowledge that right now, but
Hackers.
hackers and just dumb
Mm,
people. But in this day and age, it is what it is. You got to deal with what's out there. But there is amazing people out there trying to make a difference for the communities that
yes.
they are a part of. And I think that that's kind of a big thing too. It's
That's
like if a
being
person's
part of a community.
it's being part of a community. Yeah,
Everybody contributes.
that's it.
And do we expect acknowledgement each
No,
and every day for what we do? No, and neither do they.
no.
But it makes them feel good
Yeah.
to acknowledge that they're contributing
See,
to
that's
our society.
that's
and
another
helping
thing
us.
that I've seen a lot of. Growing up, you knew who lived on your block. You had people who talked to each
Yes.
other. Like my grandmother knew everyone in our town, like everyone in our
Mhm.
town. She knew the neighbor, she knew the next door neighbor after that, the next door neighbor after that, all the way down the block. She knew every single person. Where I live right now, I know the dude across from me. That's it. I
Mm.
kind of know the guy next to me just a little bit
Mhm.
because we both cut our grass at the same time, and he's a really nice guy. But I don't know anybody on my block at all, and I
Yeah.
think that's how everyone is
Our
nowadays.
society has become very mobile
They're just
and
very stuck off to themselves.
well, it's become decentralized
Hmm.
from the
Community,
mom and top
yeah,
pop neighborhood, if you will,
yeah,
that I grew up in.
yeah,
Even though grew up in a military family, we knew everybody
yeah,
in our block, and it felt like you were family.
exactly.
Whose ever door you went to,
Yeah,
or whoever's house you went to when you were playing, and you feel welcome, and you
yeah,
knew them
yeah,
because there was more involvement,
hmm,
uh, more people involvement. The environment was
yeah,
closer knit. So it almost felt like they were your family.
yeah.
You were going to your neighborhood family.
Now, do you think that that also helped in keeping people like on the straight and narrow?
I think it gave us a more stable life
Hmm.
than we find in
Yeah.
many of the
Because now I feel like if somebody
neighborhoods.
does something bad, they're
Well,
not going to say nothing to you to try to help it.
well, no, and
Most people
they
just
don't
stay
want
out
to
of the
get
way.
involved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'll just be like,
They don't want to get involved because their bubble has
hmm,
shrunk.
yeah.
So it's the size of an apple orange instead of a basketball.
Because I mean, growing up, I didn't have that sense of community like that. I didn't care about things. Like
Mm.
I didn't think things through like I should have. I think you get to a certain point in your life when you grow up, then you start thinking about these things,
Well,
or
see,
you either came from a place that
that,
did that early on.
that to me, that's what I call grounding.
Grounding.
It gave me a very stable ground
And that's
platform, if you will.
yeah.
It was nurturing. It was a nurturing environment that you felt you were part of,
Yeah.
and it like an extended family.
Hmm.
The whole neighborhood
Yeah.
was part of your family, and I think it gave us stability or the grounding, as I said,
Hmm.
and it. I think it made us more comfortable
Hmm. To be
being
around
able
people
to
or something.
relate to different people, different families,
Hmm.
and we've lost a lot of that
A lot of that.
in our environment, our society, whether it's the subdivision you live in, whether it's the apartment building or the town or the city or the state that you're living in. We don't have the environmental stability
Like we used to.
that we had growing up. Back
And I
in
think
the
society's paying
50s
for
and
that now.
Well,
for sure.
it is because we're more disjointed. We're not.
We look at everybody as the villain now.
Well, because the
We're
fear
jaded.
mongering of
Yeah.
of the news media
Mm-hmm.
had really,
It really is.
really,
horrible.
really developed and contributed to that cultural society.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I used to
be.
be influenced by it heavily. I would walk to Walmart and think that everybody in there was like, oh, this person's racist, or this person just doesn't like this person. This is a bigot. This is this. And it wasn't until I really started like taking a look for myself to realize that most of the news outlets are just full of crap, and they're just trying to like push a fear mongering
and that's
idea.
part of believing in your base values.
Yeah.
What are your base values?
See,
What
I didn't
were you-
have that growing up.
Well, and see that influences a person heavily.
Yeah.
If you don't have that,
Mhm.
you aren't nearly as grounded
Yeah.
as someone who does.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Yeah, I always felt like I was lacking in that kind of like the dynamic of society. Like it's not that I didn't want to be a part of society. I didn't have
You
an
didn't know-
entry point on how to correctly be a part of society.
exactly right. How you enter
Yeah.
into this societal
Right.
family, if you will.
Yep.
How you relate to them. How can I relate to them?
Yeah.
How can I introduce myself?
Mhm.
How can I be invited into this
Yeah.
this cultural
Mhm.
society, feeling family?
Yep. And I feel like a lot of people, they look at the Joneses, that whole weird, they have this
Keeping up
jealousy
with the
thing. Yeah, they have
Joneses,
this
yeah.
jealousy thing on things. And now I know that there's a lot of that out there, but that's not going to serve you any kind of help. And it won't.
No, but it's human nature.
It's human nature to
judge.
look at it and say, I want that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
to
Like
judge.
it's,
I need that. I deserve that.
Yeah.
I should have that.
oh, that's the worst one right there.
Yeah,
I deserve it.
Yeah, I deserve it.
I don't
you
put up
know.
with that one. That's the
You
one I
have
won't
to
do.
earn it.
Yeah. Not only do you have to earn it,
You have to
really
earn the
have to-
respect of your family, your culture,
if you
your society.
Yeah.
And if you don't earn their respect,
Yeah.
how can you expect them to respect you?
That's very true. And if you don't
How can
respect
you-
yourself, how can you do that?
Exactly
So
right.
for me, that was the big one for
starts
that.
with yourself.
Right. I stopped saying like I deserve this or that a long time ago, and I started realizing that if I wanted to get something done, I have to do it. So
Have
it's
to
like
earn it.
I have to earn it. So
You have to earn it.
I think that's a big cultural shock when
Yeah.
you start to think that way.
Yeah. You have to put forth the effort
Oh, man.
to earn it.
What you put
And-
in is what
and
you're going to get out.
Exactly
big,
right.
That's the big
If
thing.
you don't invest,
Yeah.
you won't earn it.
That's very true. That is very
You
true.
won't get it. And it will always be, I deserve this. Well, did you earn it, though?
That's exactly
That's
right.
what you have to ask yourself.
Yeah. And you can earn like a lot in this world. Like it's a really good thing, and it's a good feeling when you do. I mean, it's
all parts of your life, whether you're earning the respect of a friend or a neighbor,
I love that.
or your neighborhood,
Mhm.
or your town, your city. Earn the respect as an American.
Yeah.
When you leave the country and going whether it's
Yeah.
north, south, or
Mhm.
across the either pond.
Yep.
Are you showing
Mhm.
the American spirit? Are you
I think of that all the time.
are you projecting
Yeah.
what an American should be?
Exactly.
like?
I think of that all
What
the time.
you expect an American to be?
Yeah.
Are you showing that?
Anytime I go out, I try to
Yes.
represent myself how I would think that
Yes.
my sons, my family, my mom, how they would want when they think of me, I try to be as best as I can to that image. And that's kind of it's
You
a cool
project.
fallback. Yeah,
Yes.
that's my baseline. It's
Yes.
like,
Yes.
can I be the person
What
they
are
want me
your
to
values? What are your American values?
be? Right.
What do you project
Right.
as American value?
I like to go out and help people. I like when I go out. I lately it's been even cooler. I'm still kind of nervous about it sometimes because I've been getting a lot of followers lately,
Mhm.
and whether that's good or bad, I guess that
Well,
comes
you're
to
gonna
decide
have
it.
some
Right?
of
It comes
both.
with it. Comes with it.
You're
But
gonna have from both ends.
right. But I'll see people out when we go out, and it's people have come up. Like I've had a guy, we were eating at a restaurant, and a guy was like, I've seen your show, man, and I never knew this guy from Adam. It was at the very beginning of this too, and he's like, I follow it all the time. I'm like, that is awesome. Like I was like,
Good.
cool. But it was just a good feeling to know that I'm making an impact, even if it's a small one.
Mm-hmm.
That people are paying attention and they're starting to see it. So
Well,
it's a good feeling.
And part of that is you're earning their respect, and you're earning the respect of your views and values that you
Yeah.
talk about.
And that's
So
a big thing too. It's like
you're
you can believe anything you want to.
projecting what you believe in, and you're projecting and allowing others to express their views.
That's the part that I
their
like the best,
values.
because I tell people all the time when they come in here,
Yes.
I'll never censor you. If you
No.
come in here and you say something that you wanted to say that. I'm going to let you say it. Like
Exactly
that
right.
is an important thing to have. And I love that about this place, is that this will always, as long as I'm running it, it will always remain your First Amendment.
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It will always
freedom
remain
of
that.
speech.
Yep.
Yes.
And I
May not agree with you, but guess what?
I almost
Express
thought about naming the place that when I first started.
Mm.
I was thinking about naming it, First Amendment Studios was what I
Mhm.
was thinking about naming it. So I hope, if you're out there watching this and you want to start one of these, I hope you take that name, because I think that that's a wonderful name, and it should definitely be a thing. I would have loved to have done that, but maybe one day in the future. But I love Tri-State Media Services. Is a great name. So
Well, I wish you all the best and success.
I appreciate
And
that, sir.
I encourage anybody and everybody that would like to express their views
Yeah.
and have these discussions
Yeah.
on their platform.
That's what I love about it.
Come on in.
That's what I love about it.
Come on in.
So do you have anything to say to the youth or to anybody that's might be listening about Veterans Day?
Yes, please, please support all of our servicemen that have committed their time and effort and beliefs
Yeah.
in supporting this country and our people. Please support them and thank them each and every day that you meet them.
Absolutely.
Give them your support, and that's what they have earned.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Michael.
Well, thank you. And again, thank you for your service, sir. I really appreciate everything you do, and I love having you here every single time. It's always a pleasure.
Like I say, when I hear somebody say that, and I understand what they're saying and believe
Mm-hmm.
that they feel it,
Yeah.
it makes all the difference.
Same here.
It makes up for a lot of that reaction coming home from Vietnam.
Well, I hope that you know just how important we all think that we think the world of you. And I think that every serviceman that goes out there and puts in that kind of effort deserves to be treated with respect. I think that's just that's the least we can do, as a civil society.
Well,
country.
we are
It's the least we
the
can do.
veteran is supporting our lifestyle.
Yeah.
And if we can't support and show them
Mhm.
the respect that their effort
Yeah.
has contributed to our society, then it's a sad day. So
I agree.
please, each and every day you meet a veteran, say, thank you for your service.
Yeah. And not
And
just
they
the
will
veterans.
warm
Anybody that's a first
veteran,
responder,
first responder.
a veteran.
Let me tell you, they appreciate the acknowledgement of their effort.
I even say it to the people that come out there to it sounds really funny, but there's these guys that come out and they collect our trash out there. You don't understand, man. These guys are putting in work.
Absolutely.
They are doing their thing. They serve their community hardcore. That is a hard job. And they're out there dealing with people's trash. And I'm like, I love it. We always ask them all the time, hey, you guys want a water or anything? Just anytime I see them.
Everybody likes acknowledgement.
That's what I'm saying, man.
effort.
Give people their flowers while they're here.
Yes,
That's it.
yes.
I love that.
Exactly right.
I agree, 100%. Well, with that, it was another awesome, amazing podcast with you, and happy Veterans Day to you. And I think that, I love having you come out here.
Thank you very
Super
much,
amazing.
Michael. And you too, Miss Tammy. And to Athena,
Yeah.
who's not a veteran, but is a great companion.
She is a great companion. And with that, we are going to be out. So stick around for more. Tri-State Media Services.
Have
Mr.
a
Wayne
great
Walden,
day and
thank you
great
for
time.
coming out here again. I've been your
pleasure.
host, Mike Booth. Peace.
Good, Michael.